Hey guys, my name is Commodore Martin. I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Z87 G41 motherboard. I used this motherboard for a build for one of my friends. I actually had no problems with it. I'm just going to be, showing you all the labels on the boxes and all the features that it's showing off on the boxes. I believe on the back it says 4K. If you're running 4K off the motherboard, I mean, the thing's going to be slow as balls. For any game, or hell, even Minecraft, which is not that much of a demanding game, 4K on a motherboard CPU isn't the greatest experience. But along with Haswell, the onboard graphics aren't half bad. But on 4K, that is not good at all. And then it also advertises 3 monitors. If you're running 3 monitors off a motherboard, same thing, the speed's not really there. But onto the motherboard itself, I did actually like the blue connectors there, the blue heatsink. Very nice, appealing look. I'm going to do the stuff inside first before I get to the motherboard itself. We have a manual here. White 90-degree SATA cables. I really wish they were blue because the motherboard again itself is blue, so I don't understand why you would include white. For just personal looks, I don't like that, but I mean, they work fine. Here's the IO shield. I mean, it's the same thing as any IO shield. I like when the IO shields are black. It really makes me happy. And there's the driver CD, which I did use for some of the drivers that I couldn't find online. They just updated themselves. And another manual. Motherboard manuals are actually pretty useful. A lot of people throw them out, but again, there's some little things you might not know about your particular motherboard. So now I'm going to take it out of the anti-static bag. Again, like I said before, the blue actually looks very well. I got blue RAM to go with it. When I do the installation, you'll see that as well. So on this motherboard, you can see the 90-degree 4 SATA ports on the side of the motherboard, and there's 2 more that are standing up at a 180 degree. I actually like that because it just gives you a lot, smoother cables, and makes your cables look a lot tidier. Keeps everything a lot cleaner when you have those 90 degrees instead of them sticking straight up. But then if you want them to stick straight up, you also have the option. I actually would have liked them to have the USB 3.0 90 degree as well. My personal build has that in there as well. Here I'm just pointing out where the CPU power is, just because I've seen them in other places on other boards. So just pointing it out there. So here we have the rear I/O. You see the audio jacks, 2 USB 2.0s, Ethernet port, VGA, DVI, HDMI, USB 3.0, and USB 2.0s as well. Now this part of the video is for those people who don't really know how to install their motherboard in their system. And if you do, get your ass out of here.
You've come to the wrong place.
So I'm just gonna, do a quick installation of the RAM, CPU, and putting the board inside the case. So install RAM, there should be a notch on it, and that notch should line up on a notch on the RAM socket. And then just with a little bit of force, that should go in just fine. A little extra tip here, running RAM in single or 3-channel RAM is actually not good unless, your motherboard supports that. Dual channel or quad channel RAM would be probably the best. This part of your build, you want to be, pretty extra careful here. This is installing the CPU. You want to lift up that latch, and then you'll see, all the pins. Do not touch the pins. You just want to set your CPU down with the little notches matching. You'll see there's little indents on the side of your CPU, and then there'll be little outdents on the CPU socket itself. And that's how you want to install it. You just place it down gently, and don't touch the pins and don't touch the back of the CPU. The little protective cover on the CPU socket, you want to keep that. If you ever have to send your motherboard back for any reason, they won't take it unless you have this plastic piece, so keep it in a safe place. Your case should have came with these standoff screws. This motherboard requires, I believe, 6, 2 on the top, 2 in the middle, and 2 on the bottom. To know where they go in your case, just put your motherboard in, and then the hole that they line up with, that's the one you want to put one of the standoff screws in. And I'll show you what the hole looks like after I show you where they go in on this particular case. That's the hole it looks like, the hole right next to my thumb, not the one in the corner. So again, there should be 6 of those on the motherboard itself, and then just put the standoff screws right under it. After you have your standoff screws in, you want to find this adapter. This adapter has to tighten down all those as much as you can. Please don't put them in just thumb tight, because if you ever take your motherboard out, they might get stuck like half in your motherboard and half in the case, and it's a hassle to get it out. Next, you're going to put in your I/O shield. The one thing you want to look out for on this is don't put it in upside down. If you put it in upside down, you're going to have to unscrew your motherboard, take the motherboard out, unplug all the wires when you find out that the thing is upside down. So just save yourself the hassle and put it in right side up. So that's pretty much it. After that's in, you're going to want to screw all the 6 screws in to the standoff screws, and once that's done, your system's pretty much finished. All you have to do is plug in the power and the heatsink. That's one thing I forgot. Every heatsink's different. I have mounting brackets for a Noctua heatsink, but every heatsink's different. If you're going to use an Intel stock, that's what you want to use. I mean, every heatsink's different. I just can't do that in a video. But again, heatsink, power, SATA for your drive, and possibly your graphics card, and the startup switches, and then your computer's pretty much done. So if you like this video, if you learned anything, please give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this and unboxings, I actually have a lot of more unboxings and installations coming out soon. Please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.